All right, so we have all our information. Now we're ready to build our graph. A lot of times if you can make a graph to show your data, it's going to be a lot better. All right, so we need to make, we're going to use the lines on our notebook paper to help us. So you're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and then I want you to draw a big L across your paper, and this is how we'll build our graph. Okay, so this is going to represent, this first little part, our 1 inch graph. Or maybe we'll just write 1 inch. Okay, then in the middle we'll do our 6 inch. And then at the end we'll graph our 12 inch. Now for trials 1, 2, and 3, I'm thinking maybe we should use different colors so that our graph looks a little bit better. So let's see. Use green, pink, and orange. Green, pink, and orange. This should be okay. So for all of trial 1, I'm going to do that pink. Just so I remember. And then all of trial 2, I will do in green. And then all of trial 3, I'll do in orange. Okay, so for our 1 inch graph, trial 1, first we've got to figure out what kind of scale do I want my graph to be. My biggest number is 81. So if I do it by 10s, let's see if that works. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that won't work. Okay. What if I do it by 15s? 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, that would work. Okay, so let's do it by 15s. So I need a label at each one of these lines will represent 15. So 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and then if we reach the very top, that will be our 90 mark. All right, so on trial 1, for my 1 inch, I have it went 13 inches. So it won't go all the way to the 15. I'm going to build a little bar. That will represent my trial 1. Okay. Now, when you're building bars like this, I always think it's a good idea to write how many is on top. So I put a 13 up there. I wrote it sideways so it's not as messy. Then for my 6 inch graph, it went 56 inches. Let's see. So here's my 60. So it's going to be right under the 60 mark. So right about like that. Okay. And that was 56. And then for my 12 inch trial 1, it went 81. So it went almost to this top line. It was probably right about there. Doesn't have to be all the way colored in. 81. Okay, so then trial 2, I said I was going to do in green. Let's see, for my 1 inch, it went a little bit higher. It went to 14, so I want to make sure that this bar is just a little bit higher. That one went to 14. My trial 2 here went to 58. So again, it went a little bit higher. Right about there. Okay, so that's 58. And then my last one did 70. Remember, that was the one that kind of messed up. So there's 75. So I'm going to put 70 maybe right there. Okay. And And then my last one, we're going to use orange on. So my last one was 13 again, so it needs to be even with that first one. Right there. And then 59, so this one's almost pretty much on the line. And then 75, so that one's exactly on the line. Okay, so now that I have the bar graph, it's easy to see. Remember, we were trying to figure out how the height affects the distance the car rolls. Well, it's easier to see that if you have a taller ramp, the car goes farther. If you have a shorter ramp, the car is going to go a shorter distance. So a graph really shows that data in a visual way that helps people understand what you found. It's better than looking just at a chart, because if I look at this chart, I just see a bunch of numbers. This is a visual that allows us to see it. All right, so that is all we are going to do today. Tomorrow we're going to finish up this experiment by answering a couple of questions, and I'm going to teach you how to draw some conclusions using something called a CER.